mode for you. Okay. So well, whoever's online, we'll see if anybody identifies if they can hear me. Okay. Thank you, Roy. Thank you so much. Very kind. The Water Bowl King.
For the bowls.
That's great. That's an expression of joyous effort. There's people that get into their practice. I'm not kidding. And they really get excited about something. Okay. So whatever it's going on in your practice, and some of you are new to the practice, okay, but you want to do the stuff that you like first. Like first go into that stuff. See what that's like for you. It's really helpful because you want something that you're going to enjoy. And then later you pick up the other stuff that is a little harder. So there's people I know, they're big physical exercise enthusiasts. They heard about prostrations. They go, I want to know how to do that. And when I would take the teachers to, welcome, when I took a lot of teachers to doctor's visits, and when they were asked if they exercise, and they'd say, oh, I do prostrations. Like it's a form of exercise, especially long, full length prostration. So you want to learn how to do it properly. There's a practice book about it. You can order that, or you can purchase that. And then learn how to do it. The people at the center can show you how to do prostrations. And you take everything slowly, piece by piece. Thank you. I think, yeah, it should be okay. Yeah, I can share my screen. That's great. Thank you. So again, you want to take things slowly, small. So, and there's more I could say about all the different practices in Nundro, but we're going to go into our death topic today. So it seems like it's a heavy topic for people, but through the course of Tibetan Buddhism, it actually becomes something that can really wake up your life and your practice. That's the point of exploring death and impermanence, death and rebirth, is I'm realizing I really need to get to my practice now. I can't delay anymore and really start making some strides like that. That's the point. So what I'd like to do is let's just start with some meditation. This is kind of our retreat day. A lot of you have heard teachings, the traditional teachings on death and impermanence before. So I thought we'd have a little bit more practice experience. So just get comfortable in your meditation posture. Have your feet flat on the floor. You can absolutely meditate in a chair. Nothing wrong with that. You might want to put a cushion under your feet if that's helpful, so everyone is different size. And if you'd like to not lean too heavily against the back of the chair, if you're okay to do that, some people physically need the support, but your back over time will become very strong. And you want to explore when you get into meditation, you want to check the posture a little bit. Formal meditation posture in this tradition aligns with something called the 7-point Vairocana or Vairocana posture. And Vairocana was simply an aspect of the Buddha that brings us our form. So what's the form I'm sitting in? And try to find a little comfort in the form. So there's a 7-point posture that he brings. So we've got the spine extended. Lama Zopa Rinpoche adds, your sides are long. So imagine that extension. The legs can be in whichever posture. So I said, if you're in a chair, straight down. Feel that grounding with the earth, very supportive. Or you're on a cushion, any kind of cross-legged posture that supports your spine. Head is in a subdued posture, not too far up or down. That creates distraction or sleepiness. The arms and hands are in a comfortable posture. Traditionally, they're right at our waist with the right palm face up on the left. Thumbs are pressed together. It's right against the body. So it sends the elbows out to remind us of like the wings of a bird flying to enlightenment. The right side is your method, that energy of bodhicitta, the enlightened attitude. The left is the wisdom realizing emptiness. Lips are lightly together. The teeth are slightly apart. And if you'd like, you can curl the tongue to touch the upper palate in the mouth behind the front teeth. 7-point Vairocana posture. What's most important about the posture is to find your relaxation in this posture. And it takes time to feel comfortable in something that may be unfamiliar to your body. So if you're home beginning, you start with short segments of meditation. Let's start at the very top of our head right now. We're going to take a couple of minutes to scan down through the body to help us relax. This is the most important, one of the most important parts of our meditation practice. It's coming from a relaxed place. So you're going to scan from the top of your head, go all the way down through your body, out your feet and toes, and check the places you're holding. You might be holding tension in the body, like your brow and jaw, neck and shoulders, maybe your lower back and hips, and keep a normal, natural breath moving through the system. So imagine every inhalation bringing in space to those tense places. Every exhalation releasing the tension as much as possible. Just a couple of minutes. And let's look at the posture of the mind right now. So we looked at the posture of the body, helping it to find space and relaxation. Then meditation comes more organically. Let's look at the mind. Just get a sense of, just observe gently. How's your mind today? How are you feeling? So if you're a little tight this morning or right now, you can always adjust that by the nature of your motivation. And if you're enjoying the space of your mind right now, you can further enhance that by the nature of your motivation. So in our tradition, in the Tibetan Buddhist tradition, we're very focused on helping all living beings. And as humans, to do that, we're often limited. So we strive for full enlightenment, to become a Buddha, fully awakened being in Sanskrit. We strive for that. That's not the end, though. That's not the goal. The goal is because then I can help all living beings perfectly. And a byproduct of that is your mind is blissful all the time. You're free of any fears, and you have every wonderful condition, every wonderful quality fully manifest, like wisdom, compassion, loving kindness. So just think about that motivation. Is there a way to align your particular motivation with that, if you like? So take a moment right now to set your motivation, and this is you directing your awareness in the most positive way for our time together and all the activities of the rest of your day. And then if you'd like, you can clear out some of the subtle channels in your body with the 9-round breathing or another pranayama practice. So I like to start with an exhalation. So you can close off your right nostril. You're going to exhale deeply through your left nostril. And as you inhale, you're going to close off the left nostril and inhale deeply through the right nostril 3 times. And as you do that, imagine you're lessening anger and hatred in your mind stream, one of the poisons, 3 times. The next round we reverse. So we're going to exhale deeply through the right nostril, closing off the left. Then we exhale through the left, closing off the right. And as you do this, imagine you're lessening attachment and desire in your mind stream, another of the three poisons, 3 times. Our third round, we're exhaling through both nostrils, inhaling through both nostrils, and imagine you're lessening confusion and ignorance in your mind stream, third of the 3 poisons. 3 times. And if you have more time in your practice, you could sit for a while, just trying to focus the mind on one object. Shine, practicing shine or calm abiding. You could add some other prayers if you like. So you slowly learn to put together your practice based on your own rhythms, your time, your lifestyle. So I'd like you to reflect on something right now. And what I'm doing is just beginning to take you through some of the exercises I gave on the sheet, on the instructions Anthony or Don sent out. It's just a guide of how to get your practice going. There's a whole variety of things in those instructions. And while I'm here, if you want to start to go through, it's a perfect time to ask questions, but you have to go through it slowly. Take one item at a time and do it for 3 to 4 weeks. One at a time till you're familiar, a little bit familiar. You just try something, see how it goes, to try part of it. So one of them is the Shakyamuni Buddha daily practice booklet, daily meditation practice. To take a moment, we've already set the motivation. There's motivations in there, but I'd like you to just imagine in the space in front of you, a few feet in front of you, slightly higher than the level of your head, is a beautiful jeweled golden throne. On every corner of the throne are 2 snow lions. So they represent the Buddha's fearlessness. So there's 8 snow lions around this throne. And the top of the throne are 3 cushions that represent the 3 principal aspects of the path. That's our whole path. Our whole path. There's a teaching going on Mondays now from Europe with Jitsuma Kandrola, and she's teaching the 3 principal aspects of the path. Takes you through the whole Lamrim from Lama Tsongkhapa, from our patron saint, Lama Tsongkhapa. So these 3 cushions on which the Buddha sits, it starts with not exactly a cushion, but an opened lotus flower. Open lotus represents renunciation because it rises out of the swamp unstained by the mud around it. Renunciation. On top of this is a moon cushion. So it's a flat moon disk lying flat. And that represents relative bodhicitta, the enlightened attitude, wishing to become a Buddha to benefit all living beings, which encompasses compassion, empathy, loving kindness. Our method. And the third principal aspect of the path is emptiness, represented by a sun cushion, radiant sun cushion on top of the moon cushion. And it's radiant sun because emptiness illuminates radically the nature of reality. Helps to bring the darkness of our mind into the light. So we see accurately, we experience accurately. So again, renunciation, the lotus, bodhicitta, the moon, emptiness, the sun. That's the Buddha's foundation. That's all of our foundation in this tradition. And on that sits Shakyamuni Buddha, a radiant, golden being. So if you'd like, he's about 6 inches in height, draped in beautiful saffron robes, his blue-black hair tied up in a top knot, which is a sign of enlightenment. Radiant look on his face, his eyes slightly closed to show he's in meditative absorption, slightly open to show he is interested in freeing all beings from suffering. His left hand rests in his lap holding a begging bowl filled with nectar, and his right hand is down by his right knee with the middle finger touching the moon cushion on which he sits. So in a sense, in what they call the earth touching mudra, which was the mudra he was in when he got enlightened. The earth was his witness of all the lifetimes he spent trying to become a Buddha. His lips are red to show he teaches out of compassion. As best as you can, try to set this visualization in the space in front of you as if he's really there. Radiant, golden light being. He's just there to help, just wants to free you. So, and as you hold this visualization as best as you can, I'd like you to reflect on these verses. And this is the first thing that's on the list. Is called The Method to Transform a Suffering Life into Happiness. Isn't that what we want? So just reflect. And this takes you through, I'm just going to read the first part. This simply takes you through a scanning meditation on the Lamrim. So just reflect, whatever you recognize of the Lamrim. Maybe you're new to the Lamrim. Just reflect on what I'm reading. Essence encompassing all the Buddhas, originator of all the holy Dharma, of scripture and realization, principle of all the Aryas intending virtue, in the glorious holy Gurus, I take refuge. Please, Gurus, bless my mind to become Dharma, Dharma to become the path, and the path to be without obstacles. Just those 3 lines, incredibly powerful. If you just want to recite that and wake up in the morning, memorize it. So whatever you recite out loud, you will memorize. So just think again, please, Gurus, bless my mind to become Dharma, Dharma to become the path, path to become without obstacles. Isn't that what we want? That's something we might like. Until I achieve Buddhahood, please bless me to be like youthful Norzang and Bodhisattva always crying. So those they had incredible devotion to their guru, those 2 beings, in correctly following the virtuous friend with pure thought and action, seeing whatever is done as pure, and accomplishing whatever is said and advised. So this is about guru devotion, which is a preliminary to the Lamrim. So any understanding you have of guru devotion, just reflect. Now we go into lower scope motivation, lower scope topics. Please bless me to see that this greatly meaningful body with freedoms and richnesses is difficult to find and easily perishes, that action and result are so profound, and that the sufferings of the evil gone transmigratory beings are so difficult to bear. Therefore, please bless me to take refuge from the depths of my heart in the three rare sublime ones, to abandon negative karma, to accomplish virtue according to Dharma. Middle scope motivation of the Lamrim. In dependence upon that, even if I achieve the mere higher rebirth of a deva or human, I will still have to experience suffering endlessly in samsara because of not having abandoned and being under the control of the disturbing thought obscurations. Therefore, please bless me to reflect well upon the way of circling in samsara and to continuously follow day and night the path of the three types of precious trainings, the principal method for becoming free from samsara. Three trainings are good morality, and on that I build a good meditation practice. So then the second training is meditative stabilization, concentration. And I need that level of concentration, shine, in Tibetan, to penetrate the wisdom realizing emptiness. That's the third training. So again, good morality, concentration, wisdom. They're called the three higher trainings. Higher motivation, higher scope being of the Lamrim, independence upon that. So once I can reach liberation, bring about an end of my mental afflictions, independence upon that, even if I achieve mere liberation, since there's no sentient being of the six types who has not been my father and mother, please bless me to think I must fulfill their purpose and turn away from the lower happiness of nirvana. Then please bless me to generate precious bodhicitta by equalizing and exchanging myself with others, and to follow the conduct of the conqueror's sons, the six paramitas, and so forth. Six paramitas are the six perfections. Perfect behavior, for instance, starting with generosity, good discipline, patience, joyous effort, concentration, wisdom. So these are activities that we aspire to do with the purest of motivations, bodhicitta, and a mind turned to the wisdom realizing emptiness. Then you're really practicing perfect behavior. And then going on, this is the common path, and then adding Tantra on top of that when you're ready. Having trained my mind in the common path in that way, I will not be upset even if I have to experience the sufferings of samsara for a long time. However, please bless me to look at sentient beings with extraordinary, unbearable compassion and to enter the quick path of the Vajrayana teachings. That's the Tantric teachings, Vajrayana. Then please bless me to protect my vows and samayas more than my life and to quickly accomplish the unified Vajradhara state. He's a primordial Buddha, Vajradhara, in one brief lifetime of this degenerate time. And these last couple of paragraphs, incredible paragraphs. So we've got the Buddha in front. And if you'd like to imagine, he's inseparable from your particular teacher, if you have a teacher. You can imagine him inseparable from His Holiness the Dalai Lama, Lama Zopa Rinpoche, any other teacher you have. He's inseparable from all the deities in this room that we see around us, whether it's the Buddha of infinite wisdom, Manjushri, the Buddha of infinite compassion, Chenrezig, enlightened energy like Tara. They're all one, they're all the same. So just think deeply in your heart. May I not give rise to heresy for even a second in regard to the actions of the glorious Guru. May I see whatever actions are done as pure. With this devotion, may I receive the Guru's blessings in my heart. Magnificent and precious root Guru, please abide on the lotus seat at my heart, guide me with your great kindness, and grant me the realizations of your holy body, speech, and mind. Can you imagine a replica now of Shakyamuni Buddha in the space in front? Just a replica comes to your crown, facing the same direction as you, and slowly dissolves from the edges of the visualization. So along with the throne, snow lions, lotus, moon, sun cushions, all dissolves into the center, into a radiant golden drop of light that melts into your crown, dissolves into your heart. Can you feel some inspiration? Can you feel that binding with the holy body, speech, and mind of enlightened energy, of that enlightened being, the Buddha? So we can develop these qualities ourselves, and we can be like that. So please relax, and when you're ready, slowly open your eyes. Okay, great. We got some people online. Wonderful. Thank you.
Terrible Amy.
Yeah, hang on one second. Just want to make sure we got everybody here. Great. Ellen, is it the Ellen I met before?
Yes, I attended a retreat with you quite a few years ago. Yes.
Yes. I think I remember. Yeah, wonderful.
Yeah, wonderful to see you. Thank you.
Great to see you. Thanks for coming. Yes.
Can I take a couple minutes and try and sort out our technical?
Is it not working? Do you think and everyone online can hear me?
Thinks that the thing's not synced with a laptop.
Sure. Yeah, let that, absolutely. Yeah. So while Dawn is doing this, we're just going to have a little tech support. Because is there a host today of that's you or for the center?
For host for the center?
Yeah, I didn't know who was, because it didn't seem like.
I
Okay,
can be. I don't
great,
know.
that's fine. And is that, it's a little warm.
Turned down.
Is it warm?
It's on 73 now. It was on 75.
Okay, that's great. As long as people aren't too cold, too chilly. Yeah, you're okay. Some people are like, it's a little hot. Okay.
I've never done any of these things, so let's see how this works.
So I also want to just say, let us know online if you cannot hear, but I want to explain a little bit about what we just did. First of all, what did you think? How did you feel? How did you feel to practice? Any comments or any questions, confusion? Calm?
Yeah, much lighter.
Much lighter. Right. So all I wanted to introduce you to, this is how we get started. People are having trouble getting started. Some of you already started. Great. Okay. But when you have trouble getting started, who's having trouble getting started? Just put your hand up, right? It's challenging. So the thing is, they sent out, or they're emailing a list to all of you, right? So the first thing on the list is the method to trend was what I just read. It's the first thing on the list. One of the early things also on the list is Shakyamuni Buddha meditation. Right. So what I did is I combined it, okay, but I also want to explain in both of those booklets is all the explanation of those practices. So if you go, I couldn't remember what you said about what does the throne represent, what does that represent? It's all in the booklet. It just says. So again, that's why I said slowly you go through and you read. I only read the first meditation in the first part. There's another thing that's a little bit more intermediate level, Lojong verses. So those are a little more challenging because it says stuff like if people beat me up,
So,
treat me horribly,
It looks like it's
why do you know?
connected, but it's, no, there's a green light on
If
the
somebody is harming me,
little pod
I'm gonna
is flashing when I
that they're
talk,
great. So this is higher
but there's
level.
no sound
So if you don't like those verses and you read through them and you don't
on
understand.
the device. There's a
then-
little
then let it
green
go.
light that picks up sound.
That first
So I-
bullet, which is called the method
Yes.
to transform a suffering life into happiness. Okay. The last part is blessing. the
Okay,
speech.
so
Okay.
why can't we hear anything in the center? No, period. When Venerable Amy talks, can't hear her talk. There's no sound inside the Gampa. So should the speakers be on?
Oh, no, but we didn't have that before, Don. Okay, anyway. So what I wanted to say is there's blessing the speech. There's a number of mantras. Some of them you say 7 times, sometimes you say 3 times. It explains, but that's confusing for people. People look at it and go, I don't know what that is. You try, you sound it out. Probably online it exists somewhere.
Talking like,
How to
yeah,
hear. If you
when,
want, I can record it like that. So
then,
I'm just saying, don't just stop and throw it out. And
like
go
when
on.
Venerable Tendrin teaches, she wears
How do I
the
do that?
headset.
You can ask Venerable Tendrin. You can, there's some other students that know that. And you said, but the reason I like to do these mantras myself is just, I have to recite mantras every day and I have a certain person, everything becomes like more magnified. So when you really think of it, you go, that kind of sounds good. But you have to first try
Usually,
it.
when-
And in the beginning, everything's really rusty and creaky.
usually when they do that, there's some sound comes out so that we can hear her voice is
Hold that
amplified.
question for a second. The more you do it, it becomes more natural. Okay, and then the Shakyamuni Buddha practice booklet, that's a little bigger. And you go, I don't know what am I doing here? Okay, there's motivations, but you take a few pages at a time. Make sure it makes sense. You go,
How did it
busy, I
work
have
on
to go to
Thursday
work,
night
I
then?
gotta go do this other stuff, I gotta run out now and do errands and do a few pages. Just read through it, read a little bit, some reflection. Slowly come home, you do a few more pages. Maybe over 1 week, it takes you a week to get through the book.
Okay, so then she needs to read the headset.
We start. So if you want happiness and you want freedom, and I'm serious, so we need to do this right now for our planet.
Okay,
So people, a lot of people are upset right now. They're challenged by what's
Nobody.
going on the planet,
Margaret.
whether it's global warming, whether it's different administrations or things like that. And people get depressed and they get anxious and they don't know what, and then they don't know what to do. And people get paralyzed.
No.
That's where you reach for your practice. That's, for some reason, and I was overseas, I spent about half the year out of the country. And I get emails and messages from
Okay,
many of my friends, particularly
Okay.
those that live in progressive areas like California, New York, Washington, DC. And they're freaked out. One of them is a nun,
okay,
Buddhist nun, who's been at this longer than me. One is a Buddhist nun who was telling me,
thanks.
I
See.
haven't been sleeping and I'm really anxious. And these areas got a little more squeezed because they've always had big progressive agendas. People are a little freer and more help for the homeless and more help for, is everything okay?
Yeah, everything's okay. It was,
Are you okay?
am I okay? The kind sentient beings in Miami have been so gracious to me today. It's been wonderful.
Great. Very nice.
Yeah.
But everything's all right now with the?
Everything's okay. It seems to be set up okay. I don't know if people in here are having a hard time hearing. Can everybody hear okay?
Can you hear me? Because there is this.
Yeah,
we
there's
put-
that.
do you wanna-
If we use that, then we need to turn on the amplifier. Do you know how to do that, Roy? You don't? Okay, Anthony told me you could do it.
Because it might be easier. It's also easier on my voice to strain.
Okay, so let's do that.
Do we want
I'll
to?
put Anthony back in.
Oh, okay. No, that's a hassle. Then we can
No,
everyone,
it's not a hassle.
can everyone hear me?
There's old amplifier. There's an on button. I know how to do that.
That's it.
Do you?
If it's the old one,
I think so.
It's.
I mean, can people hear me okay, or But it just, it's a
It'll
little,
be
I'm
fun.
projecting a little bit more, so it'd be a little easier if I put this on. Let's just
If you
see.
do it all day, that'll make it easier.
Yeah, because it's a long, it strains my voice and I just getting over a cold, so it, we'll try this.
We haven't used it in such a long time.
And it might be good for the center for the next one we have, that somebody comes in earlier to get it all set up before we start. That would be ideal. Yeah. Thank you.
So how do I turn on the amplifier?
Yes, we're on it.
Testing, testing.
White toggle. What's that?
Testing. And one thing while we're doing this, I also do mention to people online, thank you for joining.
Yay.
Yeah, thank you. Is that,
It's on.
Yeah.
it's on? Okay, it sounds better? Okay, great. Great.
Good, thank
I just wanted to mention people online, try to really feel like you're in a gompa. Some teachers insist you have your camera on, because we try to have people not doing other stuff. It's better for your practice, frankly. So, because some people, you know, we're not normally eating and drinking during teaching, and people start doing all these other things, and there is energy there, even though it's online like that. Thank you. Okay, so what I wanted to explain is how, you know, so slowly, it's great, and the Shakyamuni Buddha practice has a lot of beautiful prayers and things as well, like a 7-limb prayer, and it explains exactly what that means. Each line of what it is of making all, you know, making off, paying a homage, prostration, making offerings, but it's very profound for your mind to go through those 7 lines. It has a mandala offering, like offering the universe, what we do before teachings, but you can do it in your own practice. It explains everything. So those are just 2 of the things on the list I wanted to explain, and just how you do it. So again, the more you do it, the quicker it gets. We took a while to do it. Okay. So for me, the method to transforming suffering life into happiness, the whole thing of all the verses and the blessing speech maybe takes me about 10 minutes, you know, and I actually do that while I'm setting up my altar, because I have a lot of practice all day. So I like to just, but my mind is there. I already had a motivation when I was getting out of bed, and then it just starts rolling. It just starts rolling. I have it memorized. So just things start going, and then I'm set up. And then you want to sit down. If you have a place to sit down, your nest, I mentioned, is your safe place to do your work with your mind, to fix your mind, if you think your mind needs fixing. Okay. And this is where, so I'm going to bring all the stuff from my day, the good stuff from my day, the other stuff from my day, you know, and this is where I want to get myself together and figure out, this didn't work well today, comes back to my meditation space. So what, and then I ask myself, what happened? What was I thinking? What were they thinking? Why did I have to say that negative thing? Why did I have that negative thought? And you analyze slowly, right? So I want to get used to that, because that's our source. So when I mentioned I was getting these emails from people, I can't sleep, I'm so anxious, you know, then you reach for your practice. Why are they not reaching for like, this is the training. And you also notice other activities. One of these people, I said to them, I know a little bit about their lifestyle. And then I said, well, why do you focus on these news stories so much? Like, how often? And then I realized it was coming in through their TV. Why don't you turn the TV off? Is that radical? Like, oh my goodness, like, I didn't, you know, and she realized it was just about who she's living with, what their habits are. And then she and her household was able to kind of lessen that, right? And then reach, so for some reason, and the thing is, a lot of people need help right now. There's a lot of people around you that need help. Your neighborhood and your buildings and your, you know, with your workplace. There's always somebody to help. That's the premise of this type of Buddhism. Okay, if you want to do something else, find something else. But this is the premise, right? So I need to be more stable in my mind to better help everybody. If I'm a mess and I'm constantly like, help me, I'm struggling, then I can't really help anybody. So I want to try to find that stability. you do need breaks and you need rest. We're ordinary beings. So there are times I'm like, I'm tired right now. I need to stop. So this is you figuring yourself out. Most of you know yourself, know what you need to do. Okay. But there's so many people to help. I get a lot of joy from that, frankly. So figure out what brings you joy. You know, I've explored a lot of different things that I thought would bring me joy. Some of it was very superficial, things that I thought would bring me joy, right? And then it seems like more and more it's when I'm helping people, trying to extend a little bit, you know, somehow that kind of fills me up. It's like on a deeper level, deep contentment. Okay. So that's helpful, but then I need to be able to do that more. And then, so keeping my mind more buoyant, it's really helpful. So I'm actually, for some odd reason, finding more joy in my practice right now in this particular phase of life. And I also make time for private retreat. So that helps me renew to go in and go a little deeper each time to come out with more of the joy. If there's not the joy there, I'm going to analyze that and figure out what happens. And I go through many stages in life that are not feeling so joyful, you know, and then I want to look at that, right? So, and again, Lama Zopa Rinpoche's main teaching that was going on the last 10 or 15 years, in addition to all the other teachings he gave all the time, is that everything comes from the mind. Okay, everything comes from the mind. Your reality is coming from your mind. Okay, so this is not about blaming you when the external reality shows up and is bleak. I don't blame myself because this person got elected or this person got elected or these people are starving or there's a war here. I don't blame myself, but I take responsibility and I know I have a share in that. And the only thing I can do is do my best. That's what I'm trying to do every day. Some days it doesn't go well. Some days I'm tired, you know, tight, agitated, right? So, and I just show up again and go, I wonder why my mind, okay, oh, maybe I need more rest. Or I might notice every time I'm around this kind of activity or these people, I'm not the best version of myself. Do you ever notice that? Right? But when I'm with these people, this particular experience, it brings out the best in me. So what does that say to you? You don't cut people out of your life. You don't have to. But maybe I'm just going to lessen this. They're good people. They're my family, whatever. I'm going to lessen that. And then I'm going to do more of this. That's how, but you adjust slowly. You adjust slowly. Like that. Slowly and just see. And then that's what we do. It's really reality. It's reality. Right? Does it make sense? Possible to do? So, but you have to check out your own mind and see. So taking responsibility. And then you have to be honest with yourself of what can I increase in my Dharma activities? That's the hard part for people. We don't have any trouble making effort, but we're not making effort in the right directions, right? Do you have any time wasters in your life? Right? Can you just, and let's be realistic. What if you adjusted? Can you borrow 10 or 15 minutes from the time waster and direct it into Dharma practice? Possible? So you can't give it all up. It's just kind of what we do, and you have these breaks, they're habits. But if you start adjusting the habits and say, well, this would really be better. I'm going to pick up that Dharma book. I've been trying to read it for 5 years. Why don't I just dust it off and start reading it? Okay. The beginning is unfamiliar. Reading that Dharma book, right? Beginning is unfamiliar. And the beginning, you might do 2 pages and go, it's my phone, right? That's normal, but at least you got 2 pages. Maybe the next time you pick it up, you read the 2 pages again, a little bit more meaning. Okay, you pick up a book on emptiness. Okay, so I really understand emptiness. Start with something easier, smaller. Small book on emptiness. Small part of the Lam Rim on emptiness. You just understand that, right? And then you go, I'm not really getting this. Then you want to ask him. This is Manjushri. This is the Buddha of infinite wisdom. He has a sword. He cuts delusion. That's imbalances in your mind. That's his job. So have a discussion with him. He's connected to Lama Tsongkhapa. He's connected. Lama Tsongkhapa got direct teachings from him. That's the level of realization he had. Okay. But you just, so again, we go to friends and family and ask for help. Why not familiarize yourself? Get a picture of a Buddha. Talk to him instead. And you go, what's she talking about? You know, some fantasy. No, make that real a little bit. That's where I get my help, my resources from. Bringing them alive in my visualizations. Okay. Little bit. So it's not like they're talking to me. Not like these images are talking to me, but it's connecting with your own inner wisdom and compassion. There's simply a reminder out there to connect me, to develop that. And that's all the Buddhas are trying to do. That's all your teachers are trying to do. That's all Lama Zopa Rinpoche's interest was, how do I develop that in my own mind and heart? And that informs me. That informs me. So that external teacher is just simply trying to connect you to that. We call it in Tantra Dharmakaya, the truth body of the Buddha. Right? It's the wisdom from which everything comes. The wisdom from which everything comes. Okay. So again, you have to make effort in that direction, and it pays off. It works, but it takes effort. So we don't have issues with effort. We're just not making effort in the right directions. Okay, so let me just talk about our sessions. I think we go till 12:30. Is that right?
Yes,
Okay. Then we're going to take an hour and a half.
yes.
Is it? Okay, hour and a half break, and then we have a session 2 to 4:30. Okay. And then what we could do is, if you like, we used to have these days, these weekends, and we would have lunch in the hallway and set up and have lunch together. So if you like, maybe you brought lunch, maybe you want to run downstairs, get lunch, we can bring it up and we can eat here. Is that okay with everybody? Just informally, we just sit, and that way it gives other people a chance to talk to me if they want. You have to understand, I'm trying to eat too. So, you know, people are always asking questions, but this way we get a little bit more time to spend, and we have a little bit of time, and then I'll probably take a little break and just walk around, stretch my legs in the shopping center, and then we'll start again at 2:00. Okay. And I will make time for a break in this session before 12:30, so you can go to the bathroom and like that. Okay. So another thing you would start to do then, okay, I just gave you a little rollout of a quick practice that will get quicker for you as you do it. And then what you do is, in the Shakyamuni Buddha practice booklet, there's some additional prayers that are really nice to read to soak your mind. And there is a Lam Rim prayer. Okay. I just want to introduce you to this. So somebody is going to have to look at the chats, because I can't always focus on that when I'm teaching. So if there's somebody that can see if there's any chat things. And okay, let me just bring this. I'm going to show you the Shakyamuni Buddha practice booklet, just to familiarize yourself and how we're going to build in-depth meditations. Okay. Okay. And also let me know online if you can't see something, but we can see, most people can see here. Okay, this is the Shakyamuni Buddha practice booklet. Now, if you order and you look online, I think you can download. It has a nice color of the Buddha, and they might even have some here to sell. A color picture of the Buddha, just what I described. And this happens to also be contained in that gold prayer book. So it's part of that gold prayer book, and then they decided to extract it because it was its own nice little practice. Tells you exactly what to say, what to, motivations. Okay. So here's the Buddha. We just describe. Here's the statue here, similar. And it describes exactly why he looks like that and what he's sitting on. It has motivations. But we're going to skip ahead. So everything's here if you want to take refuge, and has different prayers taking refuge, generating bodhicitta. The helpful thing is to try it. Try some of the prayers a few times. Try. Understand what you're saying. You can get help from the center. So it's all very standard, setting you up for tantric practice. Okay. They're all designed the same. They start with refuge and bodhicitta. So that's your motivation. I need to have my mind sailing in the right direction to get to the island of enlightenment. That you purify the place. If you see this verse, purifying the place. What does that mean? So I'm going to ask the Buddhas to come and be here with me to support my practice. Okay. So if you invite a guest over to your house, you're going to try to clean a little bit. You're going to have some nice offerings for them, just standard. So here it says purifying, invoke. I ask them to come, invocation. Okay. Offering prayer. I've put out some offerings for them. Okay. So offerings are beautiful. Roy is really the expert on that. He just did a beautiful job with the water bowls. Okay. And Peggy showed in the store they sell how to set up an altar. Okay. And how to do extensive offerings. So extensive offerings creates prosperity for you, by the way. That's how it works, according to Tibetan Buddhism. Okay. So it talks about offering prayer, this multiplying mantra. You can slowly learn that over time. Okay. Don't have time to do it, you skip to the next thing. Okay. But everything's contained, and everything's contained in what we call sadhana. This is a sadhana. Okay. That's a Sanskrit word that means method of accomplishment. Method of accomplishment. Okay. So through this practice, I'm going to accomplish the path. I'm going to be a Buddha. Great. That's what it means. So they're all very similarly designed. So even elaborate tantric sadhanas, tantric deities, different aspects of the Buddha mind, right? Some of them are longer based on that deity's world system and all the deities that exist there. So the Shakyamuni Buddha daily meditation one is the simplest. And it's the simplest guru yoga practice. Binding yourself to the guru, like we dissolved that image of Shakyamuni Buddha, so I can bind myself to that energy. That informs my decision. Love, compassion, generosity, an equanimous nature of mind, the good heart, all the antidotes to all the delusions. That's what I want to bind myself to. That's guru. That's really guru. Guru, Sanskrit term for teacher, spiritual, virtuous friend. Virtuous friend. We have a lot of friends. What about the virtuous friend? They're the ones that free my mind, help me free my mind. That sounds pretty good. But we get scared in our culture. Guru, that means I have to give all my money to somebody. That means they're going to take over my mind. No, that's not authentic guru. Be skillful when you're looking at teachers. Be skillful. If they're like, first of all, I am giving you information is all I'm doing. Please check up on what I'm saying. Please investigate. How does it fit in your life? Does this make sense? I don't agree with that thing she said. Then ask me. Let's discuss, talk about it. Right. So that's in some ways, I'm just giving information according to a certain tradition. But I'm very wary of teachers that are like, follow me. So really check up on the person. Check up on are they walking the talk? But gurus sometimes show mistakes, an aspect of mistake. So something that we read in the beginning about if my mind shows this, we were reading that in the method to transform a suffering life. So what they do say is the highly realized gurus, you really want to find somebody like that, like this, like His Holiness, but you'll have teachers at different levels. Very helpful. Like we had an alphabet teacher that was really helpful, taught you how to read. Then you had a physics teacher in high school or university. You have different levels. The one who reads your doctoral dissertation with you, different level. Okay, just like that. So here we'd have maybe teacher that starts you off, gets you into thing. You might have a teacher you take vows with, refuge precepts, bodhisattva vows. Then you might have somebody you take tantric empowerment with. That's the highest level teacher, Vajra Guru, they say. So they have to have a high level realizations, ideally, before you jump. Like make sure they are authentic and they've got the level and they've done the retreats and like that. So, and then this will go into mantra making prostrations. So included in this, it goes into prostrations with the mantra and holy name. It says this is the Shakyamuni Buddha practice booklet. And so some people want to do a prostration exercise. Okay. So they'll stop here and some have memorized or learned prostrations to the 35 confession Buddhas. Another beautiful purification practice. takes time to learn it, to learn all the names. It's better to learn and recite it yourself. So again, it was laborious for me to memorize that. It was always really fun to memorize certain prayers, practices in a certain way. And then a few years later, Lama Zopa Rinpoche would change them slightly. That was always fun. And we would all say, and some people would rememorize and some people wouldn't. And often it was mostly the same. But I had a lot of faith where Rinpoche was doing it because it somehow, his feeling was it penetrated more deeply in the mind. It really helped the mind. But again, you have to try it and see. If you do it with a lot of faith in the teacher, better for your mind. So again, if you see a teacher manifesting a mistake, if they're highly realized, okay, what the teachings say on Guru devotion is they're simply manifesting in that way because that's what my karma allows me to see. Okay, our minds are kind of gunky, aren't they? I mean, mine is. Okay, so occasionally I might project a negativity, something I'll see. But again, if you keep questioning and you see a problem, investigate, keep checking. Keep checking. Is what they're teaching, is it authentic? Is it real? How does it work in my mind if I do that meditation? If I do that practice? That's how we come to our practice. And then it's beautiful when you really read in the Lamrim. Before the Lamrim is Guru devotion teachings. It's really about Lama Zopa Rinpoche preferred how to properly serve your guru, how to properly serve a teacher. Beautiful. It's one of my favorite parts of before the Lamrim, because it really gets your mind, and there's a reason it's the first thing out of the gate. Westerners don't like it. So when I teach Lamrim courses, it's one of the last things I teach. I want to set everybody up with all these other topics and then say, by the way, if you really want to do this really well and really deeply, and you really want to have some experiences, then find a qualified, highly realized guru. It's the crux of our path. So people say, I don't need a teacher. That's okay. Go do your stuff. There's a lot of people like that. It's harder to find authentic teachers now, highly realized beings. It's harder. It's a sign of a degenerate time. That's all. But you can still do it. You have to make effort from your side. We don't really want to do that. And effort, what I mean is I have traveled across the world to see some of my teachers, to get in front of them where they live. Right? They didn't ask me to do that. They don't need me to do that. But there was something about creating the connection, cultivating the connection. Okay. So go online. Everybody's online now. I can suggest a few teachers if you're interested. Some of them come here. You go online and you watch them online. Next step, go to a live stream of theirs online, meaning when they're teaching it. It's different. It's different than a recording. I'm not kidding. There's a different energy. And Lama Zopa Rinpoche said you could get an empowerment, you could get the oral transmission of a mantra or a teaching, and you could even get it live on a phone call, in a live stream. That counts. Okay. It's different than the recording. Okay. So watch the live stream. That's your second step. Okay. Third step, if you're really watching for a while, certain teacher, then figure out where they're going to be and go and sit in person and go to the next teaching in person, a short retreat. Some of you have done that. Some of you traveled across the country to do that. That's some effort on your part. And then it deepens. Deepens? Experience? Yeah, deepens. It's another level, your practice. Kind of boosts your practice. Okay. So number 3 is you get in front of them. Then if you keep attending some teachings, finding out, you get their schedule, you see what they're doing. They're all online. They're all on Facebook, Instagram. I mean, they all have their listings, websites, no problem. Right? Then what you might want to do is another time you come, see in advance, you send a message to an attendant, you contact the center, can I make an appointment and ask them something about my practice? I want some guidance with my practice. And then they'll set you up with an appointment, be very clear with your questions, make them concise. They don't need the whole background. If they do, if they want a detail, they'll ask you. Just go right to the question. This is what I'm doing. I'm a student of Lama Zopa Rinpoche. I go to this center in Florida, whatever. Just briefly, and I would like this and this and this. I want to know how to do that. And then follow the advice. So don't ask them, you don't like what they said, I'm going to go to somebody else. That's going to create obstacles in your practice. Okay. And be very sincere. If you think you're not going to be able to follow, just say, I've got 3 kids and I work full time. I work 2 jobs. You know, I need something I can reasonably, you know, so you can give them a little background like that. And then do the practices, what they advise. And then maybe a year or 2 later, you finish something, you do something, try to check in again. And that's how you cultivate that relationship like that. And it's deep and juicy. It's the source of like, just been so helpful for me to shortcut my path. I have a lot of teachers, but start simple. You know, don't take a lot of teachers. Just find one, keep checking and going to their programs as much as you can. Can certainly go to other teachers' programs at the same time. So, yeah, so tantric sadhanas. Okay, so then it has actual practice here, and this is just a refuge visualization. Everything, all these nundro practices, which are preliminary practices, can be built into this. They can be built into all the sadhanas. They can be built into what we're doing Monday nights, Lama Tsongkhapa Guru Yoga. So that's the intermediate level Guru Yoga. Shakyamuni Buddha practice book is very simple. Lama Tsongkhapa Guru Yoga is a little bit more, you know, and then if you really want to go to something more advanced, Lama Chopa, that the center maybe does a couple times a month or something. Lama Chopa, Guru Puja, it's called, you know, assembling a visualization of holy beings so I can do the 7-limb prayer, make offerings, do practices, and everything can be built in to that. So here it talks about refuge and and it tells you exactly what to think about, what to visualize, okay? And then if you'd like, and some people are doing a refuge nundro. It's one of our preliminary practice, refuge. It's something, I did it when I was working. So I did a session in the morning, a session at night. I went to work all day, okay? And there's a booklet on how you do that, okay? So obviously first you take refuge in Buddhism and already be on the path. But it talks about, this tells you right here exactly what to do, what to visualize, what to think about, what you say. Namo Guru Bhye. Okay, so each one you do a certain amount of times. 4 different verses. I take refuge in the Guru. I take refuge in the Buddha. Namo Buddhaya. I take refuge in the Dharma, right there. And I take refuge in the Sangha. And it tells you exactly what to visualize. In your normal daily practice, you're like, I don't really have time to do this. Then you recite a simple, that 4-line refuge bodhicitta prayer. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. The Buddha, Dharma, and Supreme Assembly. By the merit I create through generosity and the other perfections, may I become a Buddha to benefit all living beings. You recite that 3 times with some feeling. Good enough. Go on. Next part. So here's the line right there. Okay, it's right in the booklet. If you like and you have time, the 4 measurables. Beautiful practice. And it tells you exactly here you can contemplate it with, some people contemplate with Tonglen meditation, if you're familiar with that. This is the long version of them. If you don't have time, do a shorter version, meaning, may all beings experience equanimity, free of attachment and aversion. Immeasurable love. May all beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. Immeasurable compassion. May all beings be free of suffering, the causes of suffering. So like that, if you have time. If not, skip it. Go to the next thing. Here it talks again, refreshing you, bodhicitta motivation. And then you come to the 7-limb prayer. This is something you should do every day. It's really short. And here, wonderful, the way the book's designed tells you exactly why prostration. What are you supposed to think about? Okay, so let's just read this. We're going to read each limb slowly. I prostrate reverently with my body, speech, and mind. Again, you got the Buddha in front. Prostrate reverently with my body, speech, and mind. Next limb, offerings. I present clouds of every type of offering, both actually arranged and mentally emanated. Confession. I confess all my negative actions and downfalls collected from beginningless time. This is about experiencing some regret. Rejoicing, the easiest way to accumulate positive energy. I rejoice in the virtues of ordinary beings and Aryas. Aryas are those who've had a direct perception of emptiness. So if you come to words you don't know and write it down. What does that mean? Find out what it means. You can look up anything almost on the internet at this point. Next limb, Please remain until the end of samsara. So I might visualize, it tells you just what to visualize, visualizing offering golden thrones. So the Buddhas have a place to sit, to stay until the end of cyclic existence, because we need them to guide us out. And the sixth limb, and turn the wheel of Dharma for transmigratory beings. That means teaching. So you want to visualize, I'm offering a golden Dharma chakra. Golden wheel represents teaching, and it absorbs into all of them, or whomever you're thinking, Shakyamuni Buddha. Okay. And then I dedicate my own and others' virtues to great enlightenment, last limb. So just those 7 lines, you just say with some thought, with some meaning, understanding a little bit more of them. Mandala offering. This is all just preliminary basic practice. We're just going to read this short mandala. And this is a little bit of, I'm offering the universe. And I'm offering like my most precious thing I could offer, so I could get 1 line of the teaching, so I can have my practice blessed by the holy beings to set up that situation. They'll do it anyway. It's not that they need offerings, but it's from our side to see the preciousness of the Dharma. So that's what it represents. In ancient days, you would bring your most treasured jewel. You could travel 2,000 miles and offer it to get 1 line of the Dharma, because the Dharma was quite rare in those days for ordinary people. So let's just recite short mandala. This is the universe. And just visualize all the grandeur of the most magnificent universe you can imagine. You can offer all the love you've ever experienced, your wonderful family and friends, your good heart. This ground, anointed with perfume, strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, 4 continents, the sun and the moon, I imagine as a Buddha land and offer it. May all transmigratory beings enjoy this pure land. If you'd like, you read the next part due to the merits of offering, okay? And we will ask them to accept our mandala. Idam Guru Ratna Mandala Kam Nirata Yami. So here you have requests. We forget about this. We don't know much about requests, okay? So these are 3 verses, or a few 4 verses here of more formal requests, okay? But you can make your own requests. I do a lot of requests, oh, I want to do more retreat, Shetland Island at my friend's property. Please help me. I want to be able to finish this retreat. I want to be able to finish this practice. Make it something loftier than, I want my baseball team to win, we don't need to request that. Okay. But really call from somebody's ill in your family, can make strong requests. Please help them to do this. Please help the treatment to work. Please help. But a lot of it around your practice. Okay. So let's read a couple of these requests formally. Guru Vajradhara, we'll start there. He's the primordial Buddha. Guru Vajradhara, embodiment of all 3 refuges, takes the form of virtuous friends to subdue beings in whatever way is needed, and grants the supreme and common realizations to the kind gurus. I make requests. Let's do this last one. Magnificent and precious Guru, please abide on the lotus and moon on my crown. Guide me with your great kindness and grant me the realizations of your holy body, speech, and mind. Again, that mirrors the one we did in the method to transform a suffering life. Those last couple verses we were reading, like that. So it's kind of like, now I'm kind of ready. I've got some nice things I've done that bring the mind up a little bit. And it comes now to the Lamrim prayer, foundation of all good qualities. So there's many different Lamrim prayers, from the short to the long, foundation of all good qualities. Okay. And you'll recognize different Lamrim topics, okay? So we're going to pick this up after a short break, so you can go to the bathroom, have a cup of tea, something like that. But we're going to pretend we're in retreat. So there's not going to be blah, blah. You can either remain silent if you'd like, or if you do want to talk to someone else, talk about what is working in your practice. Try to meet somebody new. Introduce yourself, right? This is how our community grows. We get tighter. We develop Dharma friends. What's not working in your practice? They might have a technique that helped them. How's your laziness going for you, right? What are our distractions? What might help me what gets in the way of me getting to that book I wanted to read, getting to setting up the practice, getting more on the cushion, things like that. Anything like that related to the practice, okay? Everybody okay? And then everybody online okay? Okay, so why don't we take 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes? Okay, thank you. We forgot to record. Sorry. Excuse me. So I just want to ask if there's any questions so far on what we've been talking about so far today. And anyone online as well. Okay. It's kind of working half-time, I think, on and off. I'm not sure if it's okay. Looks like the battery's okay. Okay,
Dan has a question.
please.
Oh, yeah, okay, and what is the definition of Tathagata?
Tathagata would be like the one gone beyond, the Buddha who's gone beyond all suffering and gone beyond, all the delusions in the mind, like that. Sanskrit word.
In the Bhagavan?
Bhagawan is similar. Bhagawan's similar. Sanskrit word. Yeah. And let me see if there's I don't know Sanskrit, so I'm just looking at the specifics. Let me see if I can find. Because I know they always have very specific, what Sanskrit word for the Buddha meaning one who has thus come, one who has thus gone, one who has thus come and gone. So you've finished cyclic existence, so, coming and going. And it says, referring to an enlightened being who has attained ultimate reality, emptiness, and transcended the cycle of birth and death. Like that. And there's a lot more you can say about things. And let me just look up. They usually are similar meetings. Bhagawan is a Sanskrit term meaning Lord or God. That's Hinduism. A fortunate one, blessed one, and possessor of 6 qualities, a spiritual leader, something like that. So slightly different. Yeah, like that. They might say Buddha Bhagawan, the Lord of the, protector, savior, like that. Right. Yes. And what's your name?
Oh, Debbie,
Debbie.
what's something you could do if you're not good at visualization?
Yes, great question. That's hard. Some people can't visualize anything. I've had many people come to me and it's a karmic setup. I'm sorry to inform. What I did is initially visualizing, and some people are better at it than others, is start with something you're really familiar with that you could visualize. Like I started with an apple. Like that was easy, an apple for me somehow to get, so start with something very simple and easy that you can, and just try. The other thing you can do is the second part is to engage in purification practices that will help you try to clear the obstacles to visualizing. So Vajrasattva practice, something I do every night, and you can learn how to do that at the center, and there's some online Vajrasattva practices, and learn the practice. It's another aspect of the Buddha that we help purify, and different purification practices could help with that. Yeah, a lot of people have trouble visualizing. So you want to just kind of get the idea, like if you say the Buddha, you can't get all the details, maybe you have a golden radiant light that represents enlightenment in front of you. Start there. And some people would start, so you may not be able to visualize the whole details, but you get the face and the whole body's there, and maybe you just are focused on the eyes. Good enough. Keep it simple. Start there. Anything else? Everybody okay?
There's Sandra online, it looks like.
Anybody online have a question?
Yeah, she has her
I think
hand
it's
up.
the cursor. I think it's the cursor. Sorry. Oh, is it? Sandra, you have a question or no? That might be the cursor online or your,
Okay.
I don't think it's the
No.
hand one.
No.
No. Okay, thank you. No problem. Okay, let's talk about, we go into the death experiences of the 9-point death meditation. Most people are familiar with this. 9-point death meditation is a traditional way in our tradition that we meditate on death. There's 9 points. So in your own practice, the preemptor is just the 6 advantages we just talked about, just meditated on. So 9-point death meditation is it's helpful to take 1 point at a time, to spend 10, 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes if you have more time. The longer you can spend analytically exploring that point, the deeper it will go. So if you're new to that in practice, you're going to start short, 10 minutes, but you have to keep the mind focused on the topic. So again, we read the Lam Rim prayer to that part, and that's when you're going to meditate. So we started with the disadvantages and advantages. And I'm sorry that didn't get recorded. And then you're going to go, and then if you have time another day, you go into one of the points of the 9-point death meditation. So first you need to learn them. So that's why I put on that list that will be emailed, Lam Rim outlines. So that's already on your list. So you look at the Lam Rim outlines. Whether you download it, you buy it, I can't remember if some of the things cost a little bit, some you freely download. From Annie Karen at Kopan Monastery. She taught intro courses at Kopan for years. Amazing. So she made a really easy outline. It's better for you eventually to pick up a simple Lam Rim book and start reading and learning the Lam Rim on your own. Deepen that, but if not, you go to her thing and there it's all listed. 9-point death meditation. There's the 6 disadvantages. There's the 6 advantages. You go through and you open the outline, you have it on the side, and you look, and they're under 3 main headings, 3 roots, it's called. 3 roots. Okay, under 3 roots, there's 3 reasonings. Okay, and they lead you to 3 resolutions of each root. Okay, who remembers? Number 1 root. 9-point death meditation, number 1.
Death is certain.
Death is certain, thank you. Death is certain. Okay, she's on this, she's got it, okay. Death is certain. Okay, so, we're pretty clear. I mean, intellectually, this is an easier point to realize, these 3 points. We kind of get this, okay? 3 reasonings under this. What's the first reasoning? Death is certain. Anybody?
We don't know when it's gonna happen.
So that's the second heading. We don't know the time. So hold that thought. Death is certain. Number 1, everybody dies. That's the first reasoning. Everybody dies. There's no power in the universe that's going to stop death from coming. Okay. So what you're going to do in this point, you're going to hang to this point. Analytical meditation means I'm coming from every angle, analyzing to drive the intellectual understanding. I'm going to die. We all know in here we're going to die, right? We have it here. You don't have it here. You don't have it at the heart level. I don't have an experiential realization of it because your life would be different if you did. Okay. But certainly here I've got it. And that's why we get scared, because I don't have it here. I don't have it down here. I mean, you can get it down here where you're so alarmed that you're going to die and you're not ready. And what am I going to get ready when you get to the last point is my Dharma practice. And then you go, I gotta get this practice happening. But right now, death is certain. So analytical meditation means, okay, because we have placement meditation. That's one meditation we do. Shine, calm abiding. What does that mean? I'm placing my mind on something, keeping it there stably. And you can do it with topics of the philosophy. Okay. And what will happen is first I'm going to analyze different meditation, analyzing. So I'm going to come from every angle. Everybody dies, right? So in this meditation, I'll think about what I've heard in classroom hours. Everybody dies. What I've read in books. And what I have my own life experience. Everybody dies. And I'm going to reflect. Well, the most brilliant people on the planet, you'd think they could figure out a way out. They could figure a way out. Okay. But they haven't. Einstein died. Stephen Hawking died. Okay. All the Nobel winners in economics and mathematics and science and physics and I think pretty bright, they died. They didn't figure out a way out. All the chiefs of medicine all over the planet. You think they could figure it out? Medical trained people, medical healthcare practitioners, they have a little advanced knowledge of health, keeping the body alive. They die. So you kind of, but you're slowly analyzing like this, really thinking. Now think about creative people on the planet, most creative. They could figure everything out. You know, they've created incredible music, dance, art, incredible inventions they've made. You know, how'd they get a plane in the air? When I watch planes fly, I'm always like, how is that possible? It's a huge, heavy thing with all these people in it. And there it goes. But they didn't figure out a way to stop death. People stepped on the moon and they died. Not from stepping on the moon, just from life. Because they can't fix it. So you go over and over. Think about all these people. Most powerful people on the planet, you think they can stop it? No. Can't stop. Richest people can't bribe their way out of death. They die. So you're going through all these different, you really have to exhaust everything. And then think about this room right now. Think about us in this room. In 100 years, sorry to inform you, there will be, and I'm hoping there will be other people in this room. Hoping the center will still be around in 100 years, but we won't be here. We might be here in another form, right? You think about how many lifetimes I need to be a center director. Right? How many more lifetimes do I have to come back and do that again, and do that again, and do that again, or be the program coordinator again, and or be, you know, how many different lifetimes that. So over and over you want to hold, and then what happens is occasionally you come to a little moment in that meditation, everybody dies, and you kind of go, everybody died. Like, I'm going to die. I'm going to die. And in the back of your mind is, I'm definitely going to die. When we do death retreats, 9-10 days, you know, there's just a couple of days on this meditation, on that one point. And over, you're going through sessions. I am definitely going to die. I am the back of your mind, little voice, definitely going to die. And then I analyze the most powerful people in the world. They insert it. Richest people in the world did insert it. Yeah, most creative people in the world. And I am definitely going to die. I'm definitely going to die. Over. And then you come to a little bit like, I'm going to die. Okay. Then you want to place your shine, your concentration on that. And it deepens that experience. Deepens that experience. Right? To a realization, slowly. Deepen that experience. Okay. And then that experience slowly fades again. And then you go back and analyze more quickly. Come to the experience, place all your concentration there. That's how we combine analytical meditation with calm abiding, with shine. And you need the calm abiding, right, to get first contrived realizations of the Lam Rim. You're forcing it. Contrived realizations of the Lam Rim. It means you're forcing to get that realization through continual meditation on that topic. And if you do it enough, you end up with an uncontrived realization of the Lam Rim. It's more merged with your mind. So you wake up in the morning and you're going to practice. It's just that life starts to change from there. And all the other Lam Rim topics, they all have different layers in your mind that create a happier life. Because you're more in sync with getting to your freedom. And that's what everybody wants. And it's amazing state of mind you can go through. It's amazing to just release your mind from all the other stuff you think you need to do and be. And then you're really in sync with that. It's phenomenal. Second point, death is certain. First heading. Second point. Anybody remember? No, that's another point. It's another reasoning. We're going to go, that's another, under one or the other, the second root. So this is the second main reason, right? You need to learn this. You need to know this. Second main reason is, every moment we're closer to death. Every moment it's coming. So like you got dropped, and if you're doing this meditation, imagine you got dropped out of, your birth is you got dropped out of an airplane without a parachute. That's birth. Okay. And our life is the falling. And look at all that we're exploring, our life. Oh my gosh, you had your childhood and this thing and the parents and that, and you went off to school and this, and you decide all the adventures. There's life like expanding out around you. And it's streaming by really fast. Right. It's amazing. All the stuff, all the glitter passing by. You're definitely going to end up on the ground. That's death. Definitely happening. Okay. Every moment. So if you want to do an exercise, you can do it lunch. Right. It's nice to use your retreat time, and the break times are even more important than the sessions. Break times, because the mind tends to drop. As soon as you're out of the session, it's like ordinary thinking. Keep it extraordinary. So I'm putting some food in my mouth. I'm another bite closer to death. Okay. This is really Lama Zopa Rinpoche. This is how he does his walking meditation, how he used to do. I'm another step closer to death. I'm another step closer to death. I'm another step closer to death. Can use it all the time. I'm another drive to the center closer to death. We're another Saturday now closer. And another November. And another autumn. And another session closer to death. Like that. Everything, right? You look at the sunset. I'm another day closer. Another sun setting closer. Another sun rising closer. Can play with that. Sip of tea. I'm another sip closer to death. I'm another moment of swallowing closer to death. Can really, so if you want little moments of your day, maybe you can try and do that and remind you about death. It's definitely going to happen. Another day of work closer to death. Another feeding my dog closer to death. Another cooking closer to death. Another bite of something over and over. Okay. Number 3, reasoning. Under death is certain. Number 3 reasoning is we don't really spend a lot of time in formal Dharma practice. Not a lot of time. They say a 75-year lifespan on average, maybe 5 years. 5 years of imprints. Because think about it. A third of your life is sleeping. A third of your life you spend sleeping. And then look at all the other activities. Educating yourself, working, relationships, raising children, clothing yourself, shopping, food, entertainment, on and on and on and on. How much Dharma practice? So you get a little bit like, maybe I need to get a little more Dharma practice going, right? Great. So those 3 reasonings lead you to the resolution under point number 1. Resolution is I have to practice. I have to practice. You really want to cultivate that through the motivation, through the meditation. Come this thing is, I got to do this. I have to do this. Okay, everybody with me? Okay. Any questions? Yes.
I've heard that it takes about 9 months to develop calm abiding. I'm just wondering how, not monks and nuns do it, because maybe you could take 9 months off, but how do like regular people do that?
Yes, so there's not a time limit. It's not 9 months. It depends on the person. It's very individual. So if you have all the right conditions, but what those conditions are is, first of all, you need a good basis of morality. Just ethical conduct. What I mean is, so if you've, involved in an extermination trade for your livelihood, you exterminate bugs from houses, it's not right livelihood. And you've got all this killing karma on your mind, and it affects. So I know people got into that, they didn't know, but these kind of things, if you've had issues where you're kind of a stealer, you steal stuff. We don't really steal a car, but we take a lot of stuff that isn't offered to us. So your mind gets gunky and it doesn't set up the right conditions. So if you look at those 10 non-virtues, 3 related to things you do with your body, 4 related to things you do with your speech, 3 are related to things you do with your mind. We try to avoid those. So, if you're somebody that misrepresents a lot with your speech, and it creates negative karma that prevents you from developing. So Shine is when you got the good morality, the mind's calm and peaceful and spacious. If you have the right conditions, if you have the right retreat setting, Okay, it needs to be quiet. They say at the confluence of two creeks or two streams. It doesn't have to be like that, but you also want to have people serving you in retreat that are happy with your practice. You know, I know people that said they went to some other center or they were at some place and people were jealous that they were in retreat. You can't have that. You need people that are either preparing food for you or offering you the cabin, or you pay for the cabin and they're very happy that you're there doing your practice. Makes a difference. The place needs to be, and it gives you very clear instructions in the Lam books in the conditions that you need to set up this retreat space. Like, you don't want to have a lot of wild animals around you. It's scary. A woman alone going to remote parts of India or dangerous places can get raped. So that's not safe. So the mind gets jumbled up in that space like that. Dangerous places, places where people are attacking you, places where you're not free to practice Dharma. Don't set up the right condition. Okay. But some people can do in their home, but it has to be quiet. So I know people that were on a bus line and decided to put triple glazed windows in to calm the noise down. It's up to you. People make more soundproof things. There's ways you can do if you're really dedicated. I do know people that have done retreats in their home. I've done retreat at home at times. Depends on where it is. Or you go to a retreat center and see if you can work it out. Some are more expensive, some are cheaper. Maybe make a long-term deal with them. If I stay longer, can I get a reduced price? Many people have done. Many centers offer like that. Okay, so then if you have all these right conditions and have a good foundation, then you can set up Shine. And then they say if you have those right conditions, which also means in your mind, very little desires, you're happy with whatever you have, the content, you know, that contentment and all these, they give you like a list of little 6 things. Then you could get Shine in 6 months. Right. And that's all you're really working on in that retreat. So you have to minimize and get permission to minimize the rest of your practices if you have any daily commitments. And it's fantastic. And anyone can do it, layperson or a monastic. Monastics are often really busy. So it's not like we have an advantage. I've had a lay woman that came to classes with me in Santa Cruz for years, never had kids, had her own little condo. And I took her to see this great teacher that was living in Santa Cruz years ago. And we went and he said to her, you can do Shine retreat. So she set up her life. She retired early. She did it. She's doing it in her home. That's kind of her main practice. So it's really about your own wish of if you really get it and you really say, I want to practice Dharma, let me do it. And that was her intention.
Is there a good book on it or?
There's many books on Shine. So first of all, the Lam books have sections on Shine in them, calm abiding, meditative concentration, and it's later in the Lam. And there's also a book called, there's several, Calming the Mind, I think might be one. Gen Lam Rinpa was a master. So Gen, and then next name Lam, Lam, and I think they divided it up as Rinpa, Rimpa. I think his is Calming the Mind. Was an older book. It's still really relevant, and it takes you right through the 9 stages of Shine. So what's going to happen at each stage, and the 8 obstacles that arise, and the 5 antidotes to those obstacles. And they're in all the Lam books. So it's nice to familiarize and read them and kind of realize, okay, and you can do a little bit every day now to just start doing find an object to concentrate on, like a visual object. We usually use the Buddha, image of the Buddha, because it uplifts the mind, but it really doesn't matter what the image is. Could be a paper clip. It's from your mind side, how I'm holding the object, focusing in, bringing details into focus. We don't tend to use the breath all the time, like the Vipassana Theravadan tradition. We usually have an object because ultimately you're setting yourself up for Tantra to visualize a deity. So that's why we visualize the Buddha. Yeah, so you could read about it in those books. It's really helpful. Okay, I'm going to stop there for the lunch break. Oh, sorry, one more. Ellen,
Yeah.
please.
Yes, thank you,
Ellen,
Venerable.
Ellen,
Thank you,
sometimes I
Venerable.
make people turn their camera on if they want to ask a question.
Well, let's see. My camera has not been working, so I don't think I'm going to be able
That's
to
okay.
do that.
No, I'm teasing you, please.
I just wish, could you repeat the third reasoning? I missed it.
Yes. The
Thank
third
you.
reasoning under death is certain is there's very little time to practice formal dharma that we're doing, very little time. So you kind of review all the other
Yeah.
activities you're doing and you see that, you know, can I ramp up some practice?
Okay, thank you.
Sure, absolutely. Great. Okay, so let's take a break and we are going to go to, I just want to offer our lunch.
Honorable Amy,
Oh yeah, Sheil, sorry.
there's two things I wanted to ask you. You had mentioned that there was a teaching happening in Amsterdam, and it was something Jetsuma, I think, was the name, who was
So
holding.
Jitsuma Kandrola? Is that
Could have
what?
been, but you said she was starting Monday in.
Oh no, so okay, it's not Amsterdam, it's in, I'm not sure, she's all over traveling. She's often in Nepal. She lives in Nepal. But I got word of this from one of our Italian groups. It's her own group that's doing it. And it's the 3 principles of the path. And she's teaching online every Monday. It will go on for weeks. It's already started, but you can jump in. It's the 3 principles of the path. And according to our time, it, I believe, is 11 in the morning, East Coast US time. And it's 1 hour. It's 1 hour because they're teaching it at 5 p.m. Central European time. And she moves around. She travels in different places. She's been in different places already. So 11 a.m. And what you could do is maybe search for her online. I don't know really where the link is, or I might have it on WhatsApp, but I don't know how to share that link. So if you search for her online, it may come up.
What's
You
her
can
name?
find it.
Con-
Kandrola, yeah, Kandromla.
Okay.
No, it's Kand, Kandrola. Yeah. Kandrola. Could search for that.
Chandrila Jetsuma?
It's Jetsuma Kandrola. It's really, she has many names. So Kandrola, you could just search under Kandrola
Sure.
and maybe search Kandrola 3 principles of the path and see if it gives you a link that you can contact somebody and get the link to the teaching.
Sure. And
Let
then
me see if I have, let me just check if I have a link already. I'm not sure that I have the actual link to join. Yeah, maybe just see if you can find it online and you can let me know.
sure. And you also mentioned if we wanted some support on, you have like some teachers we can look at online and see how they're teaching. Did you want to tell us that later or now?
Yeah, so those teachers, there's 3 right now that are a little bit guiding some students of FPMT, our organization. And they are 2 are monks and 1 is a lay person, they're 3 male beings. His Eminence Ling Rinpoche, Ling. They're all around in their 40s. The second one who's a monk is His Eminence Song Rinpoche, often spelled Z or Zong, Song Rinpoche. And the third is Serkong Senchab Rinpoche, who's a lay man, Serkong. Second name Senchab, Tsenshab, and that means debate partner. He was Serkong Rinpoche's debate partner. Rinpoche is his last name. They're great. All 3 of them are great. I know them personally very well. I've known them some of them since they were very young. And they're all very different. And so I know there's someone here that got connected to His Eminence Song Rinpoche and went to Los Angeles this summer. His Song Rinpoche tends to teach every August in Los Angeles at a Gelugpa center there that's not FPMT, but it's a wonderful center. And he's kind of consistently offering programs there for a week or two, and some of them are for general public and some are higher level tantric empowerments. You can look them up online. They've got websites, they've got teaching schedules. They're great. And some of them you can just watch online, some of the things. Fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Great. Okay, so let me bring up our food offering prayers. Not that one. Going to share my screen. So just think about all the food, whatever people have brought, and whatever people are going to buy. And the best thing is to offer it first. And to think about the food multiplying, filling all the space, and the food is empty of inherent nature. And let's just think about all the beings around the planet that are starving, that do not have access to precious food, and that the food multiplies and we offer it to all of them and it brings them ultimate happiness. And we still have Shakyamuni Buddha in the space in front, who is a representative of Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. We can imagine offering the food to the Buddha and all he represents, and it brings great bliss to his holy mind. May the food nourish us so we may continue our practice, our day in good health and energy to get the most out of our lives and direct them towards a path of awakening so we can benefit all living beings. And it's for that purpose we're going to practice the yoga of eating lunch. Please feel free to join in. We'll recite it first in the English, and then we're going to chant it. So first we bless with Om Ah Hong, and that's representing the body, speech, and mind of the holy beings. You can visualize from Shakyamuni Buddha in the space in front. This is where you have the 3 syllables, Roy. White Om at the forehead, red Ah at the throat, blue Hong at the heart. Okay, and streams of light are coming, white, red nectars coming into our food, transforming our food. Like, nice way to eat the food rather than just we shovel it in. Okay. So let's recite that 3 times. Om Ah Hum. Om Ah Hum. Om Ah Hum. The Guru is Buddha. The Guru is Dharma. The Guru is Sangha also. The Guru is the creator of all happiness. To all Gurus, I make this offering. Lama Sangye Lama Shödeje Lama Gedon Che Kongije O Lama Te Lama Nama Shepa. Please enjoy your lunch. So we are going to start at 2:15. Our next session, 2:15, we'll be back. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So feel free if you want to come back. If you want to go out to a restaurant, feel free. You're welcome to whatever. Or if you want to come back, we can have something to eat here together.
Okay.
Thank you. Slowly, slowly. Yeah, no hurry.
Okay.